full college football slate. Let's
Amazing.
talk some games. You guys want to talk some games? Let's talk some games and we'll make some picks. First off, I want to start with probably what is the marquee game of the week, and that's Ohio State against Notre Dame. Opening thoughts when you see this game on the docket. I think Ohio State wins. I don't know what that Marcus Freeman team is going to look like, but I feel like we're about to find out.
Isn't the line on this like 17
a lot
or something ridiculous for like a 4 and 5?
14 and a half.
14 and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still kind of ridiculous.
That's still high.
Hold on.
That's in the college. That's the college pick.
Yeah, in our pick'em is not what it actually is, though.
Okay. What is it?
What is it actually, Mark?
Let me find it.
While he's finding it, I'll go ahead and say.
No, I'm already got it. It's 17.
It's 17. Yeah.
So it's been bet from 14
insane.
and a half at open to 17. Yeah, is it? Who you taking?
I don't know. I mean, but like they
Ohio
have
State's who you're probably taking.
They have. This is like what? This is 2 versus 5.
Yeah,
2 versus 5.
2-5.
2-5. That's pretty lopsided for 2-5. But I mean, everything going into this season it's the top 3 of Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia versus everybody else. So does it really surprise me? No. I think it's a lot. I don't know, but if Ohio State utilizes all their weapons and has all the talent that they do, and we don't know much about how this Marcus Freeman team is going to be, even though they're talented. I don't know. Ohio State's going to win, but I don't know if they can if they can win by 17 or more.
Yeah, we've talked about with the rankings how team 4 through 9, anyone could get that 4th position spot. That's including Notre Dame. So I hope Ohio State just absolutely wrecks them and they win by 50. So Notre Dame's not in that position to go to the playoffs over us. That's what I'm hoping for.
Look, I mean, Ohio State's really good. They're going to be really good. They're probably going to win the Big Ten. They'll probably be in the college football playoff when the year's said and done. I think 17 points in an opening weekend is a lot, especially against the number 5 team in the country. I understand Ohio State's at home. Notre Dame with a new head coach. I get it. I get all of those things. But those players buy into Marcus Freeman and they buy what he's selling. Now, Ohio State, you better be ready, is going to score 38 points. So do I think that Notre Dame? No. So you have to ask yourself, do I think Notre Dame can score 24? Yeah, I do. So Ohio State can win the game, but I think Notre Dame, I think that number is just too big for Ohio State to cover, even with that electric offense. That's where I'm at.
You saw what happened last year. What was it, week 2? Oregon went into the horseshoe, and no one thought they were going to win. They thought everyone was going to blow them out. They ended up getting the victory in the horseshoe. So, again, early in the season, your teams just are going to be a little bit rusty. You're trying to figure things out, just like OU's got to figure it out and this Saturday against UTEP. These teams are going to have to figure it out. And, 17 points is a lot of points for a team. But we'll see. Ohio State's going to have one of the top offenses in the league, and they have 2 first-round wide receivers probably again. So
Ohio State's bringing back their starting quarterback, their starting receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba, another good receiver that Matt alluded to. I don't remember his name. Travion Henderson, probably the best running back in football if you're not a Bijan Robinson guy.
Yeah.
And do you guys know, can you name a single Ohio State defensive player that was drafted last year?
No.
Because I can't, which means they're bringing guys back. I don't think this Ohio State team is going to need the 1 week ramp up here. I think that they're going to go out and handle their business.
Also to be noted, Ohio State now has Oklahoma State's former defensive coordinator who people were in love with, Jim Knowles. So he is also at Ohio State, who trying to bolster that defense that wasn't up to snuff last year. I think they're trying to figure that out. So that's something to be noted.
Highest paid DC in the country to be there.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan. Did I interrupt you or no?
No, you didn't interrupt me.
All right, perfect. Let's move on then. Arkansas hosting Cincinnati. That's a 19-23 matchup. Arkansas, 6.5 point favorites at home, over under set at 52. Look, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Watch out for Arkansas. Just watch out for them. Mark talked about all these guys returning. The Hogs are returning everyone. And there's always a saying that I hear big time analysts say is like, don't tell me who you're returning. Tell me the production you're returning. and Arkansas is returning all of their production. All of it.
Except for Traylon Burks.
Except for Traylon Burks. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Thank you, Mark. Thank you,
I don't
Mark.
care.
That was a good one. I know we were
Best
thinking the same thing,
player.
bud.
That's
Their
fine.
best player.
I don't care. I'm telling you right now, watch out for Arkansas. They are going to be a problem in the SEC West. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they're going to give a lot of people some issues, and they're going to start with it right now by beating Cincinnati at home and cover.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think Cincinnati lost even more than Arkansas did with Traylon Burks. They lost their best receiver. They lost future Falcons Hall of Famer Desmond Ritter. They lost Sauce Gardner. They lost Kobe Bryant on the other side of that defense. They lost a lot of guys. And to your point, Mason, everyone except for Traylon Burks is back. KJ Jefferson's still that quarterback. And I don't know if that defense can really do anything. They lost their corners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they were the surprise team last year, Arkansas, right? With how well they played against some pretty top opponents. Like Mark said, Cincy losing, Desmond Ritter. I won't say he's future Hall of Famer. I think Marcus Mariota has something to say about that. But Cincinnati's lost too much. They're going to hog territory in Little Rock. And I think they're going to Fayetteville. I think they'll easily cover the 6.5. Sorry, I've clearly never been there.
So. No, you're all good. To Matt's credit,
Hawks,
they used to split home games. They used to play half in Little Rock and half in Fayetteville.
That's what I
don't do
remember.
that anymore.
That's what I
You
remember.
only do it in
Yeah,
Fayetteville. That's of course what Matt knew as a giant hog.
Correct.
So yeah,
big college football guy.
What a weird setup, man. Hey,
they
you
stopped
get to
doing
host
yeah,
maybe 3 games a year.
Yeah, they stopped doing that a couple years ago. When Arkansas would host the LSU game, which was the biggest game of the year, it would be in Little Rock. It was a joke. It was ridiculous. I would go to that game, and the stadium holds 50,000, but in Fayetteville they hold 80, and it's just like you lose, you lose so many ticket sales and everything. All right. Anybody else anything to add?
Just
go ahead.
One thing on the Cincinnati Arkansas game. I think you guys are all right. Arkansas is bringing a lot of people back. Cincinnati lost a lot of people, but Cincinnati has a fantastic coach that I think is better than Arkansas's coach.
Disagree.
Personally.
What position does he play on the field?
Doesn't matter.
What are you talking about?
Great point.
No, explain that.
Does he play quarterback, or was that used to be Desmond Ritter? I forgot. My mind is.
It was Desmond Ritter.
Was it? Okay. Gotcha.
That's right.
Okay.
No,
right.
Give me Sam Pittman. Yes, sir. That's who I got. I love Sam Pittman. He's a great guy. Pat, anything to add? SEC? You gonna
Arkansas
SEC here?
Yeah, Arkansas. But another team that will cause a lot of trouble in the SEC will be the University of Tennessee.
Okay.
Please don't start.
I
just wanted to agree. I just wanted to add someone in the East too.
No. Okay. Great. Love it. Let's move on. An SEC East team that's going to have to deal with Tennessee, Georgia taking on Oregon in the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic. Is it Chick-fil-A? Who cares what the sponsor is? They're not sponsoring us. It is Chick-fil-A. Okay. It's in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz.
Still not sponsoring us.
I know. It's messed up. It's really messed up. Georgia, number 3, Oregon, 11. Georgia, 17-point favorite to beat the Ducks. Quack, quack. Over under set at 53. Who wants to go first? Who you got?
That's a lot of points, man.
Yeah.
Too many.
And they're gonna still cover it.
Yeah, I think they're
because everyone behind the guys that left are probably as good as the guys that left. You don't Mason. You called Kirby Smart probably the best recruiter in the country, and he is. And they also developed those guys at the same time. They are probably going to be as good this year as they were last year. And Stetson Bennett is not good at football, but he is continuity for the offense. And that is a big deal when you have athletes like Georgia does. So, yeah, Georgia probably chugs along, I think.
Do you put any stock into the Dan Lanning revenge game? I don't think
No,
I do.
Because I don't think Dan Lanning is like him,
Yeah.
I don't think he's.
Remember when people wanted OU to hire Dan Lanning?
Dude, I have some takes back then that weren't good either, man.
Oh, that was the worst take.
He was the DC for Georgia, right?
Yeah, he was.
First year head coach of Oregon former DC under Kirby Smart. It's always interesting when coordinators play each other, kind of the mind games that go on. Obviously, he's been part of the program. Dan Lanning has for quite some time. Like Mark said, I mean, they lost like 7 or 8 guys Georgia did to the NFL draft on the defensive side. They're going to have guys behind them. 17 points is definitely a lot, but I made the mistake of betting against Georgia numerous times last year, and I got bit in the butt for it. So I'm not going against them. I'm taking the points that Georgia's going to cover.
Georgia covers because there's no way in hell that Bo Nix is going to do anything worth a damn for that Oregon team. There's just no shot.
Good point.
Bo Nix is a bum. He's terrible. I can't believe he's going to start for Oregon. They're going to eat him alive with that defense and Kirby Smart. I mean, the game, I think Georgia covers and they could win 17-0. And that's not covering. So 20. Let's call it 20-0.
To push.
You could push. Yes, you could. But I have Georgia to cover. I just think they're going to be good again. I think it's going to be an Alabama reload situation. Like, it doesn't matter who they lost. Like Mark said, with the way Kirby recruits, and he's recruited over the past 4 or 5 years, they're going to be just fine. Anybody else? Anything to add on that game? Ryan, did you make a pick? Did you make a pick, Ryan?
No, I didn't make a pick. I didn't make a pick. I mean, Georgia's going to win the game. I don't think they cover.
Okay.
I think 17 is just too much. I mean, for the first game of the season, I think it's just too much. I think it's going to be closer than people think it is.
I like it.
I think there's going to be some excitement with Lanning in Oregon. I could be completely wrong. Everyone's right. Georgia is much more talented, but I just think there's something there, and 17 points is a lot.
Great. Last one. Number 7, Utah in the swamp against Florida. Utah 3-point favorite, over under set at 51.5 as of now. I put this game in there just because I thought it was interesting to see what Utah is going to be on the road, because if they're going to be anything worth a darn, they win this game and they win it easily.
Yeah.
If they're the darlings that everybody wants us to believe they are in the Pac-12 and they got a shot at being in the playoff, they win this game and they don't have a problem doing it. So that's why I put this game on here. I think Utah wins and I think they cover, because if they don't talk to me about Utah again. I don't want to hear a word. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Yeah, only talk to Mason about your USC takes when you want to talk Pac-12 if Utah loses. That's what he wants.
I know.
Yeah, Utah should win, and Utah should cover, right? It's the 3 points. If you don't win and it cover, then you are playing a tight game.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how quickly Utah gets on the board and how quickly their guys get settled. Gainesville will be an experience unlike any of the not returning starters have seen, right? So just an interesting thing to think of week 1.
Yeah, I'm high on Utah this year. I think they win and cover.
Okay.
I mean, I hope Florida wins for the same logic I had for Ohio State and Notre Dame, because I think that Utah is one of those 4 through 9 teams this year. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. This one's hard to choose. I'll go with Florida. Why not? It's different.
Love it. Florida to cover, Patrick. Or are you taking Florida outright?
To cover, but I mean, yeah.
We're picking spreads.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, Matt, give me your pick.
Utes. They're returning their starting quarterback and the running back. Mark mentioned it, I think, a couple pods ago. That's all I need. They played really well in the Rose Bowl last year. I think that proved a lot to me with Ohio State, almost keeping up with them point from point. They got a lot of returning players on both sides of the ball. They're playing in the swamp, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going to the swamp. They're winning. They're covering way more than 3 points. This should be an easy game, like Mark said.
That humidity might hit those Utes pretty hard.
Yeah.
After being in the mountains like that.
Gainesville will be tough, man. It's hot as hell.
Yeah, it's not a fun time. All right. Be sure to comment down
below.
Hold
on before we move on.
Yes.
If you're not throwing Ohio State and Georgia in an Oklahoma tease this week, don't talk to me about betting. Okay, I want automatic money. All right, come at me.
Responsibly.
We just need, Mark, we need like a section of the pod one week where you just go over vocab words for betting. So we just like
No, I just need to talk to all of
exactly what
y'all
we're
about it.
If everyone else gets it, the listeners understand.
Yeah, the listeners
Yeah.
get it.
We have
Comment-
smart listeners, guys.
Comment down below who of our picks that you think is going to cover or not cover. Let us know. And by the way, remember to sign up for that college football pick'em. You can have it on there on ESPN. We'll tweet out the link, and also I'll put the link in the description on this YouTube video down below. Some interesting picks on there. We got USC, the USC game, the Alabama game, the Texas game, a lot of games on there. So be sure to join. It'll be a whole lot of fun to watch that as the season goes on.